Well, I am coming from the dungeon of the Joseph Evaldi Network Studios, and this is your host, Joseph Evaldi. This is Discontent and Woodbridge, New Jersey, or Woodbridge, New Jersey, and Discontent. I'm not sure what the name of the podcast is, but I have something to talk about. Well, first, I want to talk about Mr. John, and in a good way. And I know, in the past, I may have made a post, but, scratch that. I understand that, sometimes when you eat too much, you get sick. And I ate a lot at that party, so, no offense taken to that. I want to mention how good of a person Mr. John is, and how he did care for my dad many years of work. I mean, when I was batshit crazy out of my mind, I would say, many times, Mr. John could have, thrown the book at my dad and, stuff like that. And, he understood. He understands what people who suffer have gone through, and he was there as a friend, supporting my dad many years and offering him paycheck or for food for the table. And my dad worked, and he helped out as he could, and Mr. John pursued many things. I have to say, Mr. John Vatrick he busted his butt in town with the Republican Party many years. And I would say he so to speak, and this is not paid or endorsed by Mr. John in any way. This is just my views. It's just from what I know growing up, and then being there. I mean, he worked many times to try to get in. I mean, he went in, he tried to get in. He was on the ballot many times, and he's fallen short many times. I mean, I feel bad for him, and not just feel bad for him, but I know his level of persistence, has helped matters, and, that he's determined to get in. I mean, that's what we want in this county of Woodbridge, I would say. That's just one thing. Another thing, and this is what I want to address, and this is election day, and this is what you got to think. Voting. That's why I voted down the line for one party, and my family knows what party. I don't have to specify, but or a few people I know, but I'm gonna say this. I mean, it has to do with an R, though. I have to tell you that. In red. I have to tell you that, and this is going off. This is part of the reason why I voted. Right in between where I live, there's 3, 4, maybe 10 apartment complexes going up right in between my house. I'm living in. I'm going into traffic one way. I'm going into traffic another way. It's like I'm tired of that aggression that I have on the road, or that another person has on the road, I should say. If I don't do the right thing, or if I don't go too fast because they're in a hurry, no one should really be in that kind of a hurry. And you build these complexes that, I have to tell you, you build these complexes that are going to, I don't know, it doesn't make sense. It's like, I know you want to get more taxpayers in and people to support and everything else, but if you have a lot of angry people and they're just not friendly, I don't, maybe people aren't friendly, maybe they are. I'm not saying that they're not, aren't or not, but all I know is when I'm trying to take my pace, driving my vehicle, you have some nutcase driving down the road trying to run me off the road. I mean, I have to say, you have a lot more problems coming in town, and their policies haven't been the best in dealing with the thing. They're like, oh, we don't take care of the problems. You gotta go to another town and take care of it. It's like, that's what they said. I mean, we have no hospital in the city of Woodbridge. It beats the hell out of me when they're all going to JFK or Perth Amboy and Rahway and they're getting filled. We have no hospital. So I just don't get it. I mean, and this is the complaint part of it. This is what I want you to think of the voting. Are you actually happy with the new Woodbridge that happened in what's going on? And I know, I just don't know. I don't get it. And I know I might be going against the mayor here, but it is democracy, and we have the right to voice our opinion. And it is voting day, and we have the right to voice our opinion. If the Democrats get in, we have a right to complain. If we're Republican, we voted and we don't like them, we had the choice next time to vote them out. That is a democracy, my friends. That is why I am voting down the line Republican in this election, because you know what? I'm tired of how things are in New Jersey. I mean, you have people walking around with unfriendly faces. I mean, I have to say this. Some people are happy, and I meet good people along the way. I'm not knocking them. They're happy. They're happy to do their jobs. They're happy to do whatever. But we just overcame a pandemic, mind you, and there's a lot of people not happy, and they have you know either a smug look on their face or a dumb look on their, I don't know, but it's just one of those things. When you see that walking around, you gotta ask yourselves, are these people really happy with the party or democracy that's running the show? And I can mind you that the Democrats, they are running this country in the ground with their $1 trillion, you know, you know, bill that they're ready to pass. I don't know, but I have to say this, and I know I am being very opinionated today, and it is election day. I should be opinionated, and you know, I may be going against the grain of a few friends or whatever, and I'm going on the limb, but I'm speaking my mind. And according to this country, one day a year, we vote on what's on our mind, even though we may have no choice or not. I'm speaking on what's on my mind. And yes, I know I am going against, you know, the mayor, and, you know, I'm going against whatever, but you know what? In my opinion, this is not a dictatorship. This is a democracy. And that's why, you know, I'm against this new Democratic Party. This new Democratic Party isn't the Democratic Party of old. When I started voting, they were for helping people with. They were helping seniors. They were helping. People with programs, people with mental health or whatever. I mean, they're still doing it, whatever, but you know, it goes on wayside. We have how many people in this city? Yet, and this is Woodbridge, mind you, and we have no place where they could seek help, where they could get help. I don't know. Sure, go to Perth Amway. Let's put them in Perth Amway. What about where they could go for help in this city? That's all I have to say. I mean, you know, it's like it's not in my town. That it seems like that's the attitude. I mean, you know, they go for help, but you know, it's like we don't have the resources. We don't have the resources. You have a resource to build how many things, but you don't have resources to build something for mental health, like a building. I don't know. I mean, a building, you know, you have all these buildings coming up, but you don't have resources for mental health to build a building in town and everything else. And, you know, I could be wrong about it, but, you know, we just had COVID and people have issues, and I could be wrong with whatever I'm talking about, but I don't think I am. I mean, I think, you know, many people, granted the resources, granted, you know, the, you know, area to do it, I mean, I think they would go for the help that they would get. And, I'm not complaining about, where I'm going. I'm just saying that this is just one aspect you need to look at. And, I think maybe that's a reason why John may be running, for that reason. I don't know. To help those unfortunate who need the help. And, he's got some good ideas. I don't know. But, yes, I'm saying the Republican Party has a vested interest helping people with mental health issues. You know why? Because you know what? When one party comes after the mentally ill, and they don't come after they help the mentally ill, but they handicap them. Yes, they handicap the mentally ill. And I don't know if this is which party, but they say they're allowed to make a certain amount, or their benefits get cut, which means they could have a disability and a mental health disability, and then all of a sudden they're doing good, and they go on the thing, and then all of a sudden they start working, and they backside, and then next thing you know, they're without any benefits, they're without any work, and, they have to manage to pay their bills. This is just another issue. I know that the working class, or, not the working class, they understand, but, these people in high physicians, don't understand that. But, if you have a disability or whatever, it's the main reason why I'm doing stuff at home right now rather than working at a job, because I can't. If something happens to me with my mental health or health, I can. And, it's a shame too, because I could do a lot, but, I'm at a position where, it's tough to do that, especially with family members who are ill and stuff like that. So I have to sell stuff with the house, try to do a business where they're selling my art, and, stuff as Patreon, which, I haven't gotten any supporters yet from, but I do stuff like that because, I know I'm getting help from the state a little bit, but, it's like New Jersey. Everything is the way it is, and, I get the thing in the news. This probably isn't the state for you. I mean, everything's expensive, Does it have to be that expensive? Well, rather than, trying to see what they could do to help people better themselves, I don't know. That's what I say. I mean, they limit people. They handicap them. It's like, you're limited to make this amount of money. What happens if, the benefits get cut? Oh, I'm sorry, you can't pay your bill? You can't pay your house? I guess you gotta be dependent on the system. I don't know. It doesn't make sense. It's like, their needs, and this is the Democrats' part in the matter. Why do you handicap people with mental health or disabilities or anything else? They need those resources for a reason. I mean, and especially with the cost of living and everything else, they should be allowed to be entrepreneurs, and it shouldn't be where it's up to 25,000. It should be 50,000. I don't know. I mean, you tell me. I mean, they should be allowed to make a certain amount of money to get by, just like everybody else. What makes somebody who's I want to say this. What makes somebody who's I'm trying to think of an example. Give me a minute. What makes someone who's working a good job and everything else, and they're working a good job, what makes someone like them different from somebody who's not different? Someone who has a disability. What makes them different? What says, hey, you're on a disability, we're going to cut your funds? Unless they're able to hold their own. That's what I don't get. And that's the Democrat doing. Because, they want to restrict the people with disability. I mean, that's what I say. I mean, the Republicans, they want to help small businesses, help people better themselves, help the disabilities to better forward. And, somebody like John understands that because, his son has similar problems as me. So, yeah, I understand that. It's like, it's what it is. I mean, I know I'm complaining and I know I'm discontenting, but, I have to say this. They're so strict in, giving the benefits, and yes, I do have benefits, but, hey, one wrong move. If I'm working and I'm at a job and I do a high level job, I wind up on disability. I fall down. Guess what happens? I have nothing. And you think disability is gonna help me out in one way for anything? They say, oh, after this much money, you cut. So that's what I have to say. I mean, I hope you understood my point. This is Woodbridge, New Jersey, and discontent, but it goes beyond the state thing, and I hope you understand my complaint and everything else. And I figure this is voting day. You have the right to choose, choose against me, choose with me, I don't know. But I was a Democrat for how many years? But I just haven't liked whatever I've seen. And, there's no other party on the ballot between Democrat and Republican. So, you know what? I'm sure as hell not going to vote for the Republicans of today, or the Democrats of today, I should say. I'm going to vote for the Republicans of today because I feel that they can do more for social services and social justice than this party today. It's not good. It's not good. I mean, you limit the disabled or keep them disabled doesn't make sense to me. All right, this is Joseph Ivaldi, and this is Discontent in Woodbridge, New Jersey, or Woodbridge, New Jersey, and Discontent, and this is a matter of a state thing. And again, this is not a message paid for by the Republicans or paid for by any party. This is just my views. I hope you take it for its worth, not even a commercial. Okay. Alright.